Yeah, welcome to section 4. I've titled the section, The Consumer Buying Behavior. As individuals, we have been buying things every day. The issue is, what steps do we go through in buying? Well, the steps you agree with me will vary depending on whether you are buying a toffee, where you don't plan and so that you buy it on impulse basis, or you are buying a laptop. This section will go through the consumer buying processes or consumer buying behavior. And we say that consumer buying behavior is the decision processes and acts of people involved in buying and using products. It's about the decisions individuals like you and me take when they buy products and services that they use. Buying behavior includes the decision-making processes that precede and determine purchases. There are 4 typical types of buying behavior based on the type of product the consumer intends to purchase. You have the complex buying behavior. For example, in complex buying behavior, a lot of decision making goes in. For example, if you're buying an automobile, definitely you have to go to a complex buying behavior because it's not something that you wake up and make a decision, tomorrow you start buying. They have the habitual buying behavior, something that you buy almost all the time. We all buy food. It becomes a habit. So every day you are hungry, you buy lunch. That is a habitual buying behavior. Then variety-seeking buying behavior. Sometimes you may have been buying something, particular thing over and over, but each time now you think that, look, you are tired. You want to look for something new. Clearly, you go into a variety-seeking buying behavior. And we have the dissonance-reducing buying behavior. You see, when you buy the wrong things, you tend to regret after purchases. Dissonance-reducing buying behavior is a kind of buying behavior that consumers put a lot of efforts into it so that they don't regret after the post-purchase issues. Now, we have the buying decision processes. To be able to buy effectively, the starting point is to go through what we call the need recognition. If you want to buy a laptop, the starting point is to show that you have a need for a laptop. And the need recognition is for the individual to question himself or herself to find out whether really I need a laptop. And once you establish the fact that you need a laptop, then you go to the second stage, search for information. Now you explore and look for all the possible information about how a laptop can be acquired. So you go on the net, you go through shops, you go through a lot of areas where you think people are selling this laptop. This set of information will provide almost all the alternative laptops that are there. So you evaluate these alternatives. In evaluation, you look at the cost, you look at the delivery, you look at the specs, you look at the spare parts. All these things will help you do the evaluation. And once you do the evaluation, you do what we call the purchase decision. You take a decision. Well, based on all this, I'm buying a Toshiba. It means that you've made a purchase decision. You order it, you receive it. And once you order it, pay for it, receive it, you go through what we call the post-purchase behavior. What normally happens with the post-purchase behavior is simply a function of whether you are happy or you are not happy with it. If you are happy with it, you try to praise yourself for a good decision you made by buying. If you are not happy, maybe you tend to blame others for this. All this stage, you are just trying to evaluate the purchasing effort that you made. Now, buying decision processes. So I said these are the buying decision processes. The need recognition, which I've done, the information set, which I've given here, evaluation of alternatives, which I've done also, the purchase decision, and the post-purchase behavior. But there are certain factors too that affect consumer buying behavior. You have the cultural factors. The culture of the consumer affects what he considers as appropriate to buy or not. Remember, we said the culture refers to the norms, the values that people accept, and is passed on from one generation to the other. If your culture is such that your father or your parents must approve everything you buy, it means that you need their approval. If your culture is that your siblings must all contribute into the buying process, then it must also happen like that. Look also at the social factors. We have families, we have groups, and this also play a role in what is acceptable for us. For example, if your colleagues do not approve of your clothes, you find it odd each time you wear, and you'll be a social outcast. So social factors also influence what we buy. Then we have personal factors. Personal factors will include your motivation. What is the drive towards buying? For example, ask yourself, what is the drive towards coming to the University of Ghana? And the psychological factors. Here we are looking at the personality and the like that affect your buying behavior. And here too, we've tried to categorize what these factors are. For example, when we come to the cultural factors, we are saying that cultural factors exert the broadest and deepest influence on consumer behavior. And culture has been described as the values, norms, attitudes, and other meaningful symbols that shape human behavior. Full stop. Then you have the social factors. And like I said, your family, your friends, your peer groups, they have a lot of influence on what you buy. Think about what products your social factors or your groups will play a role in determining what you buy. Think about personal factors, and the personal factors, for example, we are looking at your age, your life cycle, your occupation, your economic situation, your lifestyle, your personality, and the self-concept. Then the psychological factors, we are looking at your motivation, your perception, your learning, your beliefs, and your attitudes. Thank you very much. We've come to the end of slide 4.